Hey guys. Trying to clean off my there we go. Camera was dirty. Sorry I'm late. I was in the middle of doing another video and I lost track of time. I'm going to give you guys a minute to pop on and talk to me here. I may have to have approval. I don't know. I'm waiting on Jenny. Someone to tell me I'm in the right group. Hey, Angie. Am I in Jenny Sharp's group? Will you let me know that I'm in the right group? Okay. It threw me off to see you over here, so I thought maybe I wasn't in the right group. Someone else is on, but I don't know who it is. I'm late, so maybe I should just get started. See if anyone else comes on. How are you, Angie? Pink opal shimmers in stock. Surely it's not just you and me on here. Good. Well, thank you. I just tried some of what Chantel did last night. I have on the persimmon, but I did the blush on my eyes, the cherry and terracotta. And I mixed the garnet and the smoked topaz in my brow. But I'm not really wearing the right clothing for persimmon. This does have some coral in it, but I wasn't thinking about that part. 4 people, 3 people, back to 3. Okay. I think I'm just gonna start, and then hopefully Jenny will hop on here, and whoever's on here, on Jenny's team, you guys tag your downline. I'm not sure I rock it either. I'm looking at myself thinking, not sure about it. But it looks really good on her. I did the foundation and the powder and the CC cream, like she said, for that fuller coverage, which I probably wouldn't do every day, but I did do that. 5 people. Okay, girls. Someone else has got to talk to me. 6 people. Calling Jenny Sharp. Is Jenny Sharp here? Do y'all ever look in your light and think you need sunglasses on? Because I feel that way today. Seven people. All right, Angie, it's me and you, I think. You're the only one talking to me. So, Jenny asked me if I would, actually I volunteered. Jenny and I were discussing some things, kind of about how the summer had been slow, and I know everybody's been feeling it, and I've received several messages from leaders about summertime and about how just, you know, my numbers are down, what's going on. Some people are in a panic. And if you know anything about my story, you know that I've been a distributor for a really long time, and summer is just always like this. And once you've been in the business for a full year, you'll start to see patterns and you'll kind of know what to expect. So really, I just wanted to hop on here and encourage you girls and kind of give you a little bit of my story and a little bit of advice, I guess you could say, things I've learned along the way. And hopefully it will get you back on track and you won't worry so much about the summertime, which summertime is really over now, and we're looking into the busiest season of our business. September through March is usually so exciting. It's always booming, and really summer is a thing of the past. So, but I know it can be a little bit concerning when you're new and you've had bigger numbers, you know, April and May, and then you get to June, July, and August, and it's like, oh my goodness, what has happened? And that's just the nature of the beast, and that's how this business works. Mainly because people just kind of totally get out of their routine in the summer. Not only your customers, but your downline. So if you can teach your downline how to work their business in the summer, it will help you. But not only that, it will help them have a more successful year, because they will not have basically worked their business 9 months out of the year. They will have worked their business 12 months out of the year. It may not look the same to work your business in the summer as it does in the other months, but it can still be just as fruitful. And when we take off in the summer months, it really hurts us later on, because what we're doing now in September is going to be what flourishes for us in December, in the next quarter, in January, February, March. So it's really important that we do not, it's okay to take a break, but that we do not quit working our business in the summertime. I became a distributor 16 years ago for the very first time. I found the product at a trade show, and I fell in love with lip scents, but I was not looking for a business. I was newly married. I had a toddler. I was pregnant, and that was just not what on my radar at the time. So timing, I'm going to give you some bullet points, and one of them is timing is everything. And timing is everything for your business, for your downline's business, for the people that you bring into your business, who you know, you may have someone and you think, oh my gosh, she would be a rock star, but she just doesn't get it. Or she's just in a season of life where she doesn't have the time or the energy to put into her business right now. So you're disappointed, and you feel like, you know, if only I could get her attention. It may just be a timing thing. So don't ever discount someone who is a personal use distributor, because very likely down the road, if you don't burn a bridge with them, they will later be in the right timing, and they can maybe do the business later. So keep those relationships, and, you know, don't hound them and don't pressure them, but keep the relationship good, so that when the timing is right, like Sheila did for me, my upline, I rejoined under her all 3 times that I signed up. So I just signed up for the discount. She had no idea that I was going to one day, you know, be a queen in the company and have a huge downline, and that wasn't something that she could have predicted back then when I signed up just to get the discount. That season of my life, I was focused on being a mom and a new wife and all of those things, so it was just not on my radar at the time. So timing is everything. What happened after I signed up is I would sign up for the discount, and then I would not order enough, so I would go inactive. And that happened 2 times. And then the third time that I signed up, we had just had our last child, and we moved to a new town. My husband got a new job, and at this point in time, I am really kind of looking for just a kind of a way to find myself again. You know, you're in that mommy mode where you're sweatpants and changing diapers and potty training, and it's all about baby. You're not sleeping very much. You're doing all those things that we do when our kids are really small, and they really require a lot of our time. So I'm coming out of that coma, if you will. I don't know really any other way to compare it to anything, but and I'm starting to feel like, okay, I want to start putting my makeup on again. I want to start dressing cute again. I want to start doing things for me. And I always loved to shop, but I did not I felt bad shopping and spending our family finances. So I thought, well, maybe I could find something to do that would not take away from the income that my husband's working so hard for. I wouldn't feel guilty about shopping. And that was really I wasn't wanting some big career or to be the top in a company or anything like that. Cassie, I always feel like I have to rush because I'm losing potential customers, but then I have to tell myself there are billions. That's right, there are billions. Rushing this, unless you have just a sense of urgency where you have like 6 months and you have to replace an income, or you have a goal that is really important and it's a must in your life, and it is do or die. You have to make it happen. But really, rushing can sometimes, gosh, make us look a little bit desperate too. Realize that not everybody's meant to be your customer either. Not everybody's meant to be your downline. But anyway, so in 2004, I had my daughter. So at this time I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, or almost 6 and almost 3, and a newborn in 2005. And we moved to a new town. Husband gets a new job, and I had this girlfriend who kept asking me about lip scents or asking me about my lip color. Remember, these are the days before social media, so I thought everyone knew what lip scents was. I thought everyone knew, were they living under a rock? I didn't know. But I did not know that it was unheard of. But I did know I loved it. It did work. And she asked me if I sold it, and I said, well, I'm a distributor, I think. I don't even know if I'm really still active. And she said, well, I know my friends would love it. And so we started talking about having a party, and I had to, figure out if I was even still able to order. So I call it my upline Sheila, and of course I'm inactive. I've gone inactive now twice, so I have to sign up for the 3rd time to do this party. But this time it was a little bit different. This time I start to feel like I can maybe make some money selling lip color. I didn't know anything about any of the other products. I hadn't used anything but lip scents. So in November of 2005, I signed up for the 3rd time. I get my 3rd and final ID number, and I decide I'm going to give this business a try. I have no sales experience. I have no college degree. I am really a shy person. I am very introverted. I'm thinking, all the odds are against me for a business like this, because I'm not super outgoing. It's not really easy for me to just walk up and talk to strangers, all of those things. And if you knew me back then, you would have believed that. Hey, Jenny. But people that know me now probably like, no, that's not really true. But this business has pulled all that out of me, and it has given me the confidence to do the things that used to be really scary. So if you're shy, if you have never sold anything, if you feel like you're not outgoing, all of those things, you can totally be successful in this business. Any kind of personality type can do this. Now, it may be a little bit harder for you. You may have to really push yourself out of your comfort zone. But if you want it bad enough, you can. So you just have to find ways that work for you. I am not going to be like Lisa and probably talk to every single person about lip syncs that she sees in a public place. That's just not my style, and she is awesome at that, and I would love to be that way, but I'm not that way. And it's okay for you to not be that way. You be whoever you are and whoever God made you to be. Now, I'm not saying that you just have to, you know, that you just keep your mouth shut and you don't ever talk. You just have to find ways that work with your personality, that work with who you are, to be able to get the word out there and wow people. So find a way that you're comfortable with. And it does mean that sometimes you have to do things that are a little bit uncomfortable, but you do not have to become like somebody else to be successful, is my point. So we did this party and everybody bought lip color. I don't think I did it right. In fact, I'm probably sure that I didn't. I don't know if I had applicators, catalogs, witch hazel, all of those things that we know how to use for demonstrating lip syncs. But I did love it, and she loved it. All of her friends loved it, and that was the beginning of my business. And I just thought, you know, I was a little bit naive, thinking, well, this is going to be so easy to sell because it's so amazing. But the truth of the matter is that women are so particular about their beauty products, first of all, and just anything that isn't, we're so name brand. We want things that we've heard about. It gives them credibility, that the celebrities use, or that we see on TV or in the magazines or whatever. And social media wasn't big then, so people hadn't heard about SeneGence, and it was very difficult for me to get people to try the product. I mean, I had a lot of no's, a lot of really just begging my friends to please have a party for me so I can get my business off the ground, and asking for referrals and things like that. I did a lot of trade shows just to get my name out there. I had a lot of no's. I had a lot of, I mean, every time I did do a party, I did sell product because our product was so amazing. But getting people to do parties was challenging for the first couple of years. Signing people up was a challenge. I was scared to death to recruit people because I was afraid to even be that person to ask someone to join my team, because I didn't want to be like that desperate direct sales girl. You know, that I had this idea in my head that that's how people like us were, which is not true. So my whole first year in the business, I did not sign up one person until the very end of that year. And I mean, I was terrible at sponsoring because I was scared to death. And you know, one thing I did do that I knew was important was I attended my first seminar. I didn't know anyone. I had to jump on a plane and fly by myself, which I had never done, and I only knew Sheila. But I knew that I had to surround myself with people that were successful if I was going to be successful. I had to go learn, just like any other skill or trade, you have to go learn how to do what is required to do it and do it well. So I knew I had to show up for training. And I was so inspired that first seminar that I went to. I mean, the women on stage were winning these awards and they were giving speeches, and I was just in awe, and I was like, I want to do this. And so my first goal was to be the state leader in Oklahoma, and that was in April of 2006 that I set that goal. And then in 2007, October 2007, is when I hit my first goal of state leader, and I actually hit my first rank of Royal. Almost 2 complete years after I signed up, I hit Royal rank. 2 years. So ladies, if you've been in the business for less than 2 years, or even a year or 6 months, and you have not hit Maiden or Royal in Waiting or Royal, it's okay. I was not someone that was just growing really fast either. Granted, you know, SeneGence was not booming like it is now, but still, give yourself a break. So one of my points for you guys today is to, sometimes you have to have tunnel vision. And especially with social media and how we watch people and we see these people rise up really fast, or you know, they're super successful and they're having all this success and it's all over in front of our face, and we have a choice with that. And if that does not motivate us and get us excited and push us to move forward, to set goals, to do better, to work harder, to, you know, learn how to do the things that we need to do. If it's not doing that, then it's time to put some blinders on and get some tunnel vision. If it is, for example, when Lisa came on board and she hit Crown Princess her first year, and I had been a distributor for 7 or 8 years at this point, from the very first time. She just started going gangbusters, and it inspired me. And I love healthy competition. And there's healthy competition, and then there's competition that just, like, you know, can be rooted in jealousy and all of those things. And that's not what we want. We want to find someone who is going to spur us on, who's going to encourage us, who's going to show us the way to do things. And so I got really excited, and I was like, well, if you're going to come in this company and do this, darn it, I'm going to do it too. So it motivated me. But if you are at home with your arms crossed behind the computer and you're pouting and sulking and you're like, well, I can't believe she's doing that, and you know, and you're just, and I'm not as good as her, I'm not as pretty as her, or, you know, what does she have that I don't have? Why is she so? If that's what you're doing, it's time to put the blinders on and look straight ahead. And that's tunnel vision. Tunnel vision is sometimes really good and it's needed, and sometimes it's not. So you have to decide if you need to put your blinders on. If what's going on around you is causing you to struggle in your business, then maybe you do. And you need to find someone who's going to be an inspiration or an accountability to you. Someone that you can relate to, someone that inspires you, and, you know, follow that person. If you have to block people on your Facebook or unfollow people just so that you don't see what's going on all the time, if it's distracting you, then I give you permission to do that. Because it's so easy for us, especially as women, to be not in a mean way jealous. I mean, there's a lot of mean jealousy in female relationships, but just hard on ourselves. And we feel like we're not good enough, and we really are. So you have to remove that, and if it's distracting you, then time to get rid of it. So by the time I hit Royal, I attended my first leaders conference, and there were 7 people there. Okay, that's crazy. 7 people at leaders conference, and I was so excited. I'd hit that first goal, and from that point, for the next 5 years, I stayed a Royal. I was a Royal for 5 more years, girls. I mean, that's awful. I thought it was awful. It's really not awful. But if you think that, you know, you are not moving quick enough, just keep that in mind. Okay, Dawn was a Royal she signed up in 2001. She was still a Royal up until 2012. So for 11 years from the first time I signed up, I was a Royal. Not for all of those 11 years, because I didn't start doing my business till 2005, but I did not move up in the ranks quickly. It took me a while to master the skill of sponsoring. I was not good at that. And it really started to click with me. First of all, if you're not good at something, the only way to get better at it is to keep doing it, and to keep doing it, and to keep doing it until it becomes second nature to you. And I remember it was one of those things that it scared me to death. And I remember a trainer at one of our events. She was a Crown Princess. She's actually no longer with the company, but she said, if you're sitting on an airplane and you're in the middle seat and someone on your right says, or you offer the person on your right a piece of gum. You pull out your pack of gum, you offer it to her, and she says, no thank you. Do you immediately freak out, clam up, have a meltdown, say, I'm never going to offer anyone a piece of gum ever again because she just told me no? Or do you turn to the lady on your left and say, would you like a piece of gum? Yes, of course you do, because it doesn't matter to you that the girl on your right said no. It's not anything personal. We have no idea the reasons that she said no. If she hates gum, if she can't chew gum, maybe she has false teeth, cavities, she's fixing to eat, she's already chewing gum. Who knows her reasoning for telling you no, but it doesn't matter. you still offer the other person the gum. And it's the same thing with our SeneGence choice. We offer the choice to everyone. If they tell us no, they're not saying, hey, you know, Jenny, I'm saying no to you because I don't like you and I do not want to be part of your business. No, they're just saying no. I mean, basically the timing is not right for them right now. It's not a no, never. They're not saying absolutely not, never, do not ever ask me again. Now people may do that, but normally no. It's just no, they don't want to do that right now. That's not something that they need in their life at this time. But it doesn't mean that we just write them off for the future. So once I got over the fact that people were really not rejecting me, they were just, the opportunity was not what was best for them at the moment, I was more comfortable with sharing it with everybody, and I quit being so scared of what people thought of me. And you know, we women in general, we have a lot of insecurities, and we totally take things personally when people say no to us. We feel like it must have something to do with me and they don't like me, and that is really not true. So when I got over that, I got better at sponsoring, and I started to build my first line, and I consistently was building my sales. I had a reorder business at this time. I'm still doing parties. I'm still, you know, doing all the things that Joni taught me to do: wow, book, demo, direct. Those are the basics of the business, and you must master those skills in this business. You can't leave one of them out. You can't be really good at wowing but totally miss the booking part, or really good at doing a demo but missing the directing part, which is the SeneGence choice. You have to master all four of those. So mastering the skills of this business is another point that I had. Stop comparing yourself to other people. And then the last one that I had was not to put an expiration date on your success. And I say that all the time. Anytime that I talk to any group or any training that I do, that's the most important thing. Do not put an expiration date on your success. And here's why. If you are married, I use this as an analogy. Don't take it personally if you've gone through a divorce. This is the only way that I know how to explain this. So it's not about marriage and all of that, but it's about commitment. And just like whenever you got married and you stand before God and you make this commitment to one another, you know, you don't walk up to your husband and say, okay, now when things get really hard, I may go ahead and divorce you. I'm just really not sure if this is going to work out, but we'll see how it goes. You are committed, and you're committed for a lifetime. And it's the same with your business. Whenever I decided in 2005 that I was going to do the business, I was going to do the business. I never said to myself, okay, if it gets hard, Dawn, you can quit. Or if it gets hard, it's okay for you to go ahead and back out, because I had made it a commitment to see it through. And it's easier to walk away from things when we don't make a commitment to them. So have you made a commitment to your business? Have you committed to doing it as long as it takes until you are successful? Whatever success means to you, because it means something different to all of us. And success to me was not becoming a crown princess or a queen. That was not success. Success for me is doing this, empowering someone else to be the best that they can be, being my very best, and, you know, trying to do what God wants me to do. That is success. Leaving a legacy to my children, showing my daughter that she can do anything that she wants to do. Not necessarily a dollar amount that I make every month, or a rank, or being #1 in the company, or earning a trip, or whatever. I mean, all of those things are great, and to someone from the outside looking in, they may think, oh, she's really successful because of that. But to me, that's not how I gauge success. So do not gauge your own success based off of, well, I'm not a crown princess in a year, so I must not be successful. That's not true. Whatever your desire and your why for doing the business, and whatever reason that you're doing this, what gets you out of bed in the morning, what motivates you and gets you excited, your why, working for your why, becoming the best person that you can be for your downline, for your family. You know, to me, those are successful things. And goals are important in trips, in ranks, in cars, in income. Having a goal for all of those things is really important, because if we don't have a goal, then we just kind of stop working. So you do need those things, but they don't define you and make you more successful than the next person, or less successful. So whatever success looks like to you, write it down. Have a conversation with your husband or your best friend or someone who you're accountable to, and think about, okay, what does success look like to me, and what will it look like when I have arrived there? And then that is what you're working towards. And when things get difficult and you're not moving as fast, you just remind yourself, okay, this is what I'm going to keep doing until I get to this point. And then guess what? You're still going to keep doing it. Just because I am a queen, or I've been in the company for 16 years, when I hit queen rank, I didn't just stop working my business. I didn't decide, okay, well, that's it for me. I'm just going to stop wowing. I'm going to stop training my team. I'm going to stop looking for new customers. No, I still do all the basics of the business, because I want longevity in the business, and I want 16 more years from now to still be as fruitful as I am now in doing what I'm doing, and I want it to last. So for it to last, you still have to keep doing those things. But it's a different time frame for everyone, and your time frame may be 5 years. It may be next month. I don't know what it looks like for you, and I can't tell you that. Only God knows that. But you have to put your head down and dig your heels in and just keep doing the work. And then you can not worry so much about what everybody around you is doing. And trust me, it'll still flare up in me, and I'll have to put my own self in check sometimes. Let's say, for example, last year, when girls were just, blowing right by me, and I have girls in my downline that make more money than I do, and that's the beauty of our compensation plan, way outrank me. And I had to make a decision. Am I going to let that bother me? Does that mean that I am any less of a success because these women have moved up higher than myself, or they may make more money than I do? Absolutely not. So it's a choice that we make, and we make the choice to be committed. We make the choice to keep going. And to me, quitting, that's when you fail. Messing up and trying and not, getting a no, or having a demo that flops, or struggling is not failing. But when you quit, that's when you failed. So, tunnel vision, stop comparing, no expiration date on your success, and master the skills of this particular business. Those are my 4 points. Now, I'll tell you, I was Royal till 2012, and then what happened was I had a power pocket in Lubbock, Texas blow up. I had signed up a girl in Abilene. I had another girl in Lubbock who was interested in the lip color, but I did not live very close to her, so I recommended my Abilene girl drive and meet my Lubbock girl, and I just said, if she wants to sign up, then you sign her up. That's perfectly fine. And that's what happened. And from January till March, Amanda Vivial blew up Lubbock, Texas, and I went from Royal to Princess like that. It was crazy. And that's what happens whenever you continue. You just keep putting the process in place, the Wow Book Demo Direct. Things will begin to happen. They don't always happen immediately, but they do begin to happen. And I hit Princess that April of 2012, and then 2012-13 was whenever my team hit $1 million. So I went from 282,000 GSV to $1 million the next year in GSV. From a Royal and 1 seminar a year to Princess, and then to Crown Princess very quickly. And then January of 2014, and we did over $1 million again. We did like 1.2 million. In that January, I had a girl named Kimberly Massey who signed up just for the discount. She did not want to do the business. She just wanted the discount, but I also encouraged her to have a launch demo because I believe that launch demos, even for personal use distributors, are going to show people kind of what's possible, and they help them make more money, especially if we have the 50% off and the Fast Start program when that comes back. Launch demos are crucial even for personal use distributors. So she signed up. We had a launch demo in March. Took her a while to plan that launch demo, but she planned it in Enid, and we drove 3 hours to do this launch demo, and Jada and Sharon were there. They came in late thinking they were coming to a cleaning party. We laugh about that now. And they came because Jada says that she got a message from Kim. Kim messaged all the guests and reminded them about this party, so she felt obligated. So there's a tip for you. Hostess coaching is really important as well. So they signed up, and we were so excited. They told us they had 3 stores. They had huge connections, and we were just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. We drove home 3 hours just, you know, on cloud 9, knowing that this was going to be a really big recruit for us. But what was funny was they did not want to recruit, and they were only going to sell it till it was no longer a hot item. So we know what happened. It's still a hot item 2.5 years later, and they did begin to recruit because they saw the opportunity, and they invited every person that was in their circle of influence in their boutique world to be a distributor too. And so that year is where your leader Jenny came from, and Jenny is on my 6th line, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jenny. Sarah's my 4th, Ashley's my 5th, and then Jenny. And Jenny can attest to the crazy year that we had that year. It was absolutely nuts. And I don't know about that, but thank you so much for saying that. That's really sweet. We had a crazy year. We broke a lot of records, and then they just continued to get broke. And Queen was not on my radar that year. It was never a goal I had set for myself. Crown Princess was a goal. Queen was not. And but it happened, and it can happen. You sponsor the masses, you develop the stars, and you never know when it's going to click. You never know who your star is going to be. So I hope that encourages you. I hope that you will just take a breath and realize that you are on your own journey. No one else's name is written on your SeneGence journey other than yours. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be involved in it, but it's yours, and it is unique to you. And you know, however God wants it to be, that's what I believe, and whatever He wants you to learn from it. And I don't regret that it took me this long, because I don't think I would A, appreciate it as much, B, I would not have become the person that I am. I really grew a lot through all of that, and this business is so much about personal growth. And we grow, and we are pushed to do things that are hard and scary, but the thing about it is we're all in the same boat, so we're not alone in feeling that way. So I hope you guys are encouraged. I hope that you will, you know, let the past go, and if you have been one of those that's been comparing, it's okay. Just stop doing it and get your tunnel vision, get your blinders on, and set some goals, and find someone that you can be accountable to, who's gonna, you know, really help you and encourage you. Don't have an accountability. It's like a diet. Don't get an accountability partner that is going to tell you it's okay to eat the donuts. You know, you want to find someone who's really going to say, hey, have you left the house this week to go out and get some new contacts? Have you made customer follow-up calls? Find someone who's going to help you to do those things. Thank you, Ingrid. That's all I have. I hope it's helpful. Do y'all have any questions? I'll stay on here for just a second and see. Thank you, Corey. I'm sorry I was late. I was about 5 minutes late. Okay. Yeah, I'm here for a minute if you have a question. You know, and I kind of condensed my story a little bit, but my husband has always been supportive, but there were times when he was like, are you ever really gonna make any money doing this? And you know, he never told me I couldn't do it, but he saw me put a lot of work into it and wondered if it was really ever gonna pay off. How much time a week do you invest in your business? When I first started Shayla, my kids were small, so I allotted one night a week to be gone to do a demo, and my husband just knew, okay, you know, yes, these are my kids too. I helped create them, so I'm going to stay home with our children, and then like every other weekend on a Saturday or something, then I would try to book something then. I was very part-time in the beginning, because I wanted to make sure that I was not away from my kids, because it was just a crucial time. Now my kids are 18 and 15 and 12, and they just don't need me quite as much. So I don't know how many hours. I would say, you know, on school days when they're at school, at least 3 days a week, I'm either at my office or doing videos or networking, doing something at least 3 or 4 hours a day. I'm building a house right now, so I'm kind of busy doing that. But I would say I'm a couple hours a day, if not more, something for my business. Whether it is, you know, I believe in scheduling your time as well. You want a day to wow, you want a day to make phone calls, you want a day to talk to your team. All of those things have to be scheduled in every week, or you just get up on a Monday and you have no idea what's going on. I didn't have to change his mind. He knew the opportunity, Ingrid. He just, you know, didn't really see that it was paying off for a while. And I remember when my first check was like over $1,000, and he was like, okay, this may start to be something. And then I took him to Switzerland. I earned my car payments. The first trip I took him on was a game changer for sure. But he was never, ever, ever told me to quit. He was always, you know, supportive. It just wasn't for as much time and money I was putting into it, because I was building my stock. Every time I sold products, I would go order more stock. So he wasn't really seeing that I was making any money, but I'll tell you what, that was a lifesaver when we were in the out of stock problem, because I never had an issue. As a leader, how do I remotivate my rock star that has a huge team? I think, Jennifer, finding out her why and helping her reconnect to the reason why she joined to begin with is huge. Finding out why she is not motivated, like just get personal with her, ask her what's going on in her life that has made her step away from her team, and find out what it was about the business why she joined to begin with, and remind her of the times when she was excited about it. And sometimes we all go through this feeling wheel thing, and it's important to discuss it with your downline, because everyone experiences it, and when they don't recognize it, that's when they tend to quit. But the feeling wheel is, you know, it's just imagine a wheel, and you start up here and you're super excited and you're on fire, everything's amazing, you're going to be a rock star, crown princess in, you know, 6 months, and you start working your business, you're going around the wheel, and some good things are happening, and then bam, you know, someone tells you no, someone returns a product, maybe you built a team really fast and they're dropping like flies, or you've got one downline that is just really difficult and hard to deal with, and it's really frustrating. And at that point, when we get to that point on the feeling wheel, that's where most of direct selling people quit, because it's too hard. And what they don't see is right around the corner, if they would have just stayed on the wheel, you see my hand? Stayed on the wheel, your next distributor's right there. Your next sale is right there. Someone's fixing to call for a reorder. But we stop and we don't realize that it's just a circle and it keeps going and going and going. And it's highs and lows, it's peaks and valleys. It's not always easy. It's not always fun. I can tell you, I've cried a lot of tears. I have had more blessing than I ever will deserve. There's been rewards, there's been challenges, there's been frustration, you know, but you have to see the big picture and you have to look at it from way back. Like, what am I looking at here that not right now in the moment? And when we get caught up in the here and now and in the moment, we do things based off of emotion and then we walk away. So that's my advice on that. Anything else? And Jennifer, if you have to use your team, like, hey girl, I mean, these girls really look up to you and they need you. You know, don't let them down. You know, what is it? How can I help you get back to where you were? If you ever watch Amanda Vivial's story, if you've seen hers, she went through, after she hit Princess the first time, she went through a season, a whole summer. She battles depression and some other things, and she basically got in bed and wouldn't get out. And I had to take over her team and just let her go through that funk, and she lost her rank, and then she had to rebuild. So it happens. Okay. I am going to hop off. If you guys have questions, I will see the notifications and I will jump back on here and answer them. So I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Jenny, for having me. I am honored to be able to encourage your group, and I hope that you guys take something away and that you will just go out and work your business and be blessed. So thank you, Autumn. Okay. I will hopefully get to meet you all soon. Hope you come to Leaders and Seminar. And if you do, come talk to me, introduce yourself. Okay. Bye, Jenny. Love you, girl.